Hey, what's happening? So you guys, this is Joshua Zinning from joshuazinningfit.com, and today I want to discuss an issue that a lot of people have, and it's because most of the day we're sitting down and we develop a lot of posture issues because if you sit at a desk, and let me basically show you what I'm talking about. Most of a good posture obviously is sitting upright, but the problem is when you're sitting at a desk a lot of times, a lot of guys, girls, if you're typing, you get this forward rounded motion in your shoulders. You'll also see it a lot with bodybuilders. So have you guys ever seen some really big guys in the gym that basically literally instead of having full upright posture, their shoulders start to do this where they actually are completely rounded forward, and it kind of gives them a hunched over look. There's a couple of reasons why this happens. Typically because a lot of bodybuilders overtrain their chest. So when you think about the chest, you guys, the chest muscle actually connects into your shoulder. So what happens is, think of super tight muscles when they're squozed together. What it actually does is it pulls that shoulder and internally rotates it. So basically, to fix that posture, one thing is you need to stretch the pec muscles, but the other muscle that comes into play is your lats, because a lot of times when you train your lats, over time what happens, same thing, if they're tight, because most people don't stretch their lat muscles, they don't even think about stretching their lat muscles. So basically the big thing is when they get too tight, same thing. When this muscle pulls together, what happens is it actually internally rotates that shoulder. So a couple things that you can do is if you have like a resistance band or basically some type of rubber band, this simple exercise of where basically you're opening up and actually squeezing into that rear deltoid and middle back, that is going to help strengthen those rear delt muscles, which is actually going to help you open up that posture. Another thing that you want to think about is when you're sitting all day, what position is your hip flexor in, right? It's in a actual relaxed position here. So think of when you're standing, as far as your hips, what happens over time is your hip flexors get really tight. So stretching your hip flexors will actually also help you actually create better posture. So one of the other things that you want to do is grab a foam roller, okay? Because to actually stretch, let me lower this for you guys so you guys can see this. So a great way to foam roll your lats is actually get that foam roller underneath your arm, and you're actually going to roll the lat out. And again, the thing with foam rolling is you want to focus on that roll for about 60 seconds in a spot. And if there's a spot you can find that's really full attention and sore, you want to hang out on that spot for about 30 to 60 seconds. So when you're foam rolling, what happens is it takes that muscle a certain amount of time to relax and lengthen. So a 15-second stretch isn't going to do it for you. You want to focus on a 30 to 60-second full stretch. So the other thing, you can do the same thing with your chest. So one of the other things that I do is you can lay flat on the ground, get either a lacrosse ball or your foam roller, and stick that lacrosse ball right on your chest. And then what you do is, as you're putting pressure onto that lacrosse ball, take your actual arm through the motions as if you were moving your chest, almost like doing a shoulder press, but while laying on the ground. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow that chest muscle to open up, because again, what the big focus is stretching your lats, stretching your chest, and then training your rear delts to where all of that starts to go from here and really starts to open up to where you have that nice, bold posture. And so hope that helps you. I do have a full article coming out on joshuazittingfit.com this week that pertains to this topic and basically goes over exactly what we talked on here, but it also goes through a couple more exercises. So definitely check out the article coming out. Again, Joshua Zitting from joshuazittingfit.com, and we're signing off. Take care, guys.